to another M&P family production. I'm excited. Tomorrow is a gun auction, about 200 plus guns, some interesting guns. I hope to buy some at, where I can resell them, make a little money. I don't know if I'll be able to do that or not. The market is pretty strong and the competition is fierce, and I'm afraid it's going to be well attended. People have been shut in by the pandemic, and they're anxious. You know, things are starting to open up around my neck of the woods, at least, and people are getting out, and I'm afraid there's going to be a lot of people there with their stimulus money, and it's going to be fast and furious, I'm afraid. But that's okay. I'm still going. I'm going to have fun. Might not come back with nothing. Might come back with a truckload. You never know. You got to go. So let's see what we got. First slot, 182 Remington XP100 221 Fireball. I don't think there's a big market for these guns as is. I think people buy them to get the actions, to build something else out of them. They got the scope on backwards on this one, which I think is kind of funny. I don't know what that gun's worth. I might throw some money at it, see what I can do, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot on it. Kind of a screwy looking deal. Ruger single 6 9-inch barrel, nice looking gun. Super Blackhawk 44 Magnum. Another single 6, spare cylinder in the box. These guns have gone up in price lately. I think people are starting to appreciate what they are with the new Ruger Wrangler out, and they look at that chintzy thing, and you know, I mean, like for $100, $200 more, you can get a real gun. So, on the used gun market. So, used guns represent such a great value. I mean, I don't know why there's still a lot of people who just are scared of buying used guns, and I understand that, but my advice is to get into it and look at used firearms, because they represent a really great value for the money. You know, a lot of this stuff's not made anymore, and usually because it was too expensive to make in the first place. I mean, it was too expensive to make now, and it's not profitable, so they don't make them. So, you know, there's a lot of value there. So, Makarov, Smith 669 stainless 9mm. Bunch of Ruger Mark 1s, bull barrel 10-inch. High standard Derringer. These guns are really popular. A lot of people still like those guns. Braven 25 Auto. They're cheap. A lot of people tell you they're junk, but I've had a bunch of them and I've shot them and they always work. So, you know, that's all you could afford. It was a great gun. Did what it needed to do. Better than sticks and rocks, that's for sure. And some muzzle loaders. Cheapo stuff. Winchester 52. This is the first model with the rear military sight. A lot of target guns in this auction. Winchester 52s and shoots, 64s and 54s, older ones, newer ones. Winchester 75s, sporters and target. Remington 37s. Remington 513Ts. 513. I think there's a sporter in the mix. But there's a lot of cool target guns, and that's one of my guns I always liked, was Target 22s, because these companies, these were their kind of their flag guns, because they always put a lot of effort into making these guns as best they could for accuracy, because they would use them, you know, when small bore was a big sport back in the day, and if the national champion used a Winchester, well, Winchester, you know, put his face and gun on the magazine ad and used it to promote Winchesters in general. So it was a big thing back in the day. Not so much anymore. Nobody target shoots anymore. That's a nice looking 513 Remington. Nice Mossberg 22 target rifles. Like the Mossbergs. There's a Winchester 52C, which was the, I guess the most desirable of the Winchester 52s, because it's still a clip-fed repeater, and it had the adjustable trigger, the micro motion trigger. That's a bull barrel. They made them in two different barrel weights, standard and bull. And that's a nice gun. It looks nice. I gotta wait and see them because they only give you one picture. Now here's one. Winchester 52 Sporter. Didn't make too many Sporters because they were big money back in the day and only the wealthiest could afford them. And they're very expensive now. This one looks like it has a lot, been there, done that look. So I'm interested to see what that brings. I might be interested in that. Marlin 62 and 256 Winchester Magnum. That's an interesting gun. Never had one of those. Never had anything in 256. Mossberg, Thompson Center, muzzleloaders, 22 rifles. Here's a Marlin 22 Magnum. I replaced a firing pin in one of these once. Boy, I felt like I was a real gunsmith after I got that job done. Whew. That was a three-hand job, and you had to hold your tongue just right. Nice looking Winchester 75. I really like the 75. Also in this auction they got several rifles with Unerdal target scopes and some Unerdal target scopes by themselves. We're very interested in those. I like the Unerdals. Nice looking Smith Corona 03A3. Another Mossberg. And it's just a bunch of miscellaneous guns. A lot of 22s. There's a nice M1 Grand. Looks like it's sitting on a box. Looks like maybe an old DCM delivered box. But it's got the old style sight. Might be a gun to look at. I'm sure it'll bring good money. Won't be no bargains there tomorrow. But sometimes you gotta pay the freight. Here we go, Winchester 55. Very unusual gun, didn't make many of them. 22 single shot, automatic single shot. Fires from an open bolt. You retract the bolt, spring pressure, and you load the round in the empty chamber. Pull the trigger, bolt slams forward, bang. Recoil drives the bolt back, locks it back, insert the next round. So all you gotta do is just keep sticking rounds in the chamber and pull the trigger. No cocking, no unloading, loading. You just keep sticking rounds in the chamber and shoot. It does have an automatic safety. I'd like to have that. Not too many people know about it. They didn't make that many of them. They didn't sell well. Most people who bought a single shot 22 wanted it very cheap and simple, and the 55 was probably a little more expensive. Price point was a little higher than it needed to be to sell well. Over-engineered. But there's a bunch of good looking guns. Oh, this is Remington 37. This is the gun Remington produced in the 30s, and I think the late through the early 50s to compete with the Winchester 52. And Remington put a lot of time and effort and engineering into these guns, a lot of promotion. And they won national matches a couple times using Remingtons. And it was, you know, they say Remington never made a dime on the 37 because they just spent so much money on them making them. And it was their flagship, top of the line 22 target rifle. And that's kind of like what draws me to target rifles, is because they put all their gun making art into target guns. Some Widowmakers. I say this, it's probably a Varmint Ruger 77, older one, 308, got a nice looking Unerdal scope on it. I'd go after it. I'm only interested in the scope, but you know, if the price was right, I'd take the rifle too. But, and oh, several nice Anschutz. This is a nice Anschutz Silhouette 64, which is the smaller, cheaper action. And they also have Boom. Winchester 54 Silhouette. This is the top of the line Anschutz. That's a nice gun. So there's several other Anschutz, and there's a custom across the course rifle, Winchester 70 and 308. With the usual mods. Here's an older Anschutz position rifle. So, hey, I'm excited. Tomorrow, when I get back, I will make a video and show you what I got. Maybe a very short video, may not got much of nothing, or hopefully it'll be a long video because I did buy a bunch of guns. So, I'm going to sign off now. Thank you. To the auction. I am excited. I've got a lot of anticipation. I don't know what to expect. I'm afraid there's going to be a ton of people there. It's going to be a hot, miserable day. Humidity's high. It's going to get up to 90 degrees. Maybe that'll keep some folks away, and so maybe we'll do all right. Talk a little bit about buying guns at auction. I bought a ton of guns at auction, and I've had really good luck with them. I bought a few stinkers that, you know, didn't sell very well, or they were broken, or they had some hidden problems or something. But that's, you know, part of the deal. Usually I was able to fix them and get them up and running. But I've gotten some really good values, and I was thinking about it last night, looking at my guns in my gun safe, and I've got quite a few that I bought at auction. So, like I said, I have high hopes for today. Got my partner in crime, Billy, with me. Say hello, Billy.
How you doing?
He's really excited too, can't you tell? And so he brought $100. He'll probably spend it all today. And I brought $200. I'll probably spend it all today. But, you know, we're going to have fun. We're going to stop, get some breakfast, because you got to be well fed when you get, you know, go into this. So I'm going to get me a couple of biscuits and fuel up. So, all right. Also, when you buy these guns at auction, you buy them as is, where is. So if you got a problem with it, you know, you find out it's broke or this or that or whatever, it's your problem. So put on your big boy pants and just deal with it. Usually, you know, you can fix it. No big deal. If you can't fix it, lessons are expensive, right? I mean, I've bought a few lessons.
Sometimes you can sit there and turn around. Sometimes you can turn around and sell it as a fixer-upper or gunsmith special, and sometimes even that'll at least get you your money back.
Because
close to it, so you kind of, like you say, learn.
people will buy broke guns, tell them it's broke, and it's kind of a challenge for them, telling them it's broke. Oh, I can fix that, and they'll pay you for it. So don't be afraid. Just jump in, do it, have fun. And auctions are all different. You have to pay attention. They all have different rules or policy. Like today's auction is really nice. There's no buyer's premium. What is a buyer's premium? Well, some auctions have a buyer's premium of 10, 15, or 20%. And what that means, if you bid $100 on something and win it for $100, they'll tack on another 15%, which is $15. So when you start getting up into bigger money, that's going to add up pretty quick, and that's just something else you got to figure into your final bid. This auction is you pay what you bid, and they don't usually collect sales tax because they're selling from an estate, and which is nice. And the FFL that's on site charges, I think, collects $10 for the first gun, and for the transfer fee. And so it's a really easy process. This particular auction, I've been to some that they charge you buyer's premium and sales tax, and then the FFL guy that's handling it wants $20, $30, and then another $10 or $20 for each additional gun, and it's just crazy. I'm going to use my FFL today, Paul's Gun Room LLC, and so the process for me is they don't charge me anything. They just transfer it to my FFL. It's pretty easy. But Billy here, he's bought guns for himself and filled out the paperwork, did the background check, and only paid $10. So it's gonna be fun. My theory on bidding is I like to be a loud and clear and early bidder, and I like to bid early, then back off and let the other folks bid it up, and then if I'm still interested and the price is still where I want to go, I'll jump back in. But I don't believe in this meek and mild bidding, you know, where you just blink your eyes or wiggle your ear or something. I wave my hand and go, you know, what's that guy say on Storage Wars? Storage Wars? He goes, yup, up, or something. He lets them know he's there, and so I think that's the way to play it. But I love auctions. Auctions are fun, so I'm excited. I'm pumped. You pumped, Billy? Yeah. I can tell. He's wild. He's a wild man.
Probably see me through the...
Yeah, it's hot. 92 degrees.
There we go, right on the chest.
Me and Billy are not used to working this hard.
Hey, it got up to 90 degrees and heavy humidity.
We had a big haul, about 20 guns between us, and a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. I'm pretty excited. Got some good stuff. Some stuff I thought was not so good, went for great big money, and I think I got some bargains on some other stuff. Stay tuned. We will be displaying what we got. Now we're leaving. Billy's already playing with his toy. What'd you get there, Billy? Tell me about it.
One thing nobody wanted, an old Smith & Wesson, but it's a 32 Winchester cartridge, which is what, 3220?
3220.
So I think nobody really wanted it because they figured they'd have to load for it. You can get ammo, but you got to look a bit.
It's pricey.
It's not cheap. So I figured I'd load for it.
I got some.
But
I'll sell it to you reasonably.
oh yeah. Yeah, that's up to Paul. He's usually got a little bit he could sit there and part with for testing.
I got ammo for everything.
So I ended up getting it for about $175. It's old enough that I was able. The bore.
You don't know.
I did. I looked at it.
Yeah.
I look at it again. There's a little bit of some crusty stuff in there, but I mean I've seen worse.
Might clean up.
Old enough gun, CNR eligible.
Yeah, they honored your CNR license.
Yeah,
which was nice.
And so I was able to use my CNR license on it. Bore is pretty decent, but you can see some stuff because back when they used to use black powder and stuff.
Well, it was corrosive.
Well, corrosive primers. That's correct.
Black powder is not that corrosive, but those mercury fulminate primers were hell. And
yeah, I've seen some of that with old military stuff.
that's what causes the damage.
Had years ago bought an M1 Grand that came out of Korea and didn't get cleaned up, and it looks like a sewer pipe. And I think I mainly just bought it years ago when they were a little cheaper. Korea didn't take care of them that great. They came back over into the country, and at that time I just thought it was my chance to snap one up, and picked it up for around $300 at the time. This has been like 30 years ago, it seems. Maybe not that long, but something close to that. And it still goes bang, and when it comes time I take it out to the range, and had a couple people, relatives or so, that said I'd like to shoot something like my grandfather shot in World War II. So I bring out an M1 Grand, an M1 carbine, and maybe like a 45 or a 38 from that time period. Today my other little one I bought was a 1939 Carcano. Right at the time when they were thinking about changing over, this one was, instead of 6.5 Carcano, it was 7.35 Carcano, and
Which is a true 30 caliber, 300.
And you just pretty much can't find ammo for that, so I have the dies and stuff so I can reload for myself.
That round is an interesting intermediate type cartridge that the Italians were trying to come up with. It's, I don't know, the bullet's like 120 grains or 130 grains.
I think it's like 120 or 130 is what I bought.
It's really an intermediate type cartridge that everybody ended up going to, the assault rifle type cartridges. So, all right, we're gonna get some lunch here because we're both about to die. And that wouldn't make good TV, so we'll see y'all. Overall, I'm happy. I'm happy about the Unerdal scopes I got. I got a Cleaver T25, an older one. Had real nice clear optics, real nice 16 power Unerdal 1.5 inch target scope. What other accessories did I get? Got some books, gun books, real Well, here's our haul. A few modern pistols. Billy's already running off with his. But it got some nice rifles. Couple of, and shoots 54 silhouette and shoots 64 silhouette. Minty Remington 513. Really nice. Remington 700 ADL 270 with a nice Tasco 30mm scope. Minty Mossberg. Pretty nice Remington 37. Another muzzleloader. Nice Unerdal 16 power 1.5 inch target, and a T25 Weaver. Some gun books, some ammunition. But it was fun. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if you get an opportunity to go to a gun auction, go and bid. And please have a good one.